All right. So welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since we last met.
Mm-hmm.
So how are your holidays? How have you been doing?
Good. Everything's good. Thanksgiving was a little hard because of all the food, but I put your advice into action and was more mindful of the food that I ate. So Thank you.
Okay, yeah, of course. So I'm just going to reiterate some of the things we talked about during our last session real quick, and then you and I can kind of start a dialogue talking about kind of how you feel about some of the changes we're trying to make right now.
Okay.
So the last time we met, we had two goals. The first goal was to decrease your fat intake.
Mm-hmm.
One way we talked about doing that was opting for lower fat snacks, such as like lower fat ice cream at the end of the night, or overall just cutting down your portion sizes when it comes to fatty foods that, are pleasurable to eat from time to time.
Right.
And then our second goal was to decrease your overall caloric count.
Mm-hmm.
One way we talked about doing this was to, kind of give you some education on nutritionally dense but low calorie foods to make sure that you're getting all of your micronutrients and your macros, but you're not exceeding your needs.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that we talked about was to opt for fruits and vegetables when snacking, as they generally are lower in calories. And a few general behavioral goals that we talked about were just decrease snacking overall. And I believe we spoke on some ways we could manage that, maybe by cutting meals down to 4 smaller meals a day rather than 3 larger ones or 2 larger ones. Food prepping, which I know you were particularly interested in. And so how have you been feeling moving forward with these goals? Do you feel like we've been successful so far? There's some things you've been struggling with?
Yeah, I think, I started meal prepping on Sundays. So I just meal prepped breakfast this week by making overnight oats. And I think now that I kind of have the hang of that, I can expand it and start to meal prep for lunches and dinners.
Okay.
And I am more mindful of packing my lunch during the week when I go to work and taking the time to eat my lunch during the day. I know, as I shared with you before, I was skipping lunch because I was just running around busy as a teacher and not taking the time to eat. And then I would come home and snack a lot around 3:30 and just kind of grabbing anything I could because I was so hungry. So I am definitely more mindful of preparing my food and bringing it with me when I know I'm going to be out of the house for a long period of time.
Sure, yeah. And so you said you're enjoying meal prepping so far, taking your time on Sundays?
Yeah, it takes time. I have to schedule it in my day, but I think it'll save me time in the long run during the week.
Yeah, for sure. And it's nice to kind of anticipate knowing that there's food waiting for you that you enjoy.
Yes, that's true.
So right. Something for you to kind of look forward to and to enjoy your mealtime as well.
Right.
So is it only breakfast that you've been meal prepping with for now?
So far, but I have brought my lunch yesterday and today.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. It sounds like that's been a change that you've really enjoyed.
Yes, it is.
Now, with the snacking, have you been bringing snacks to school with you?
I brought a bag of grapes, a small individual sandwich bag, and a cheese stick.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
I mean, those are, fibrous foods it'll keep you full during the day, especially while you're teaching, because I know you're on your feet quite a bit during the day, and you probably don't have much time to kind of sit down and take snack time for yourself. So something small and easy is probably good for you.
Yeah.
Do you find that when you do bring those snacks to school that you feel less inclined to start snacking so much on, the chips and things like that, the salty foods when you come home?
Yeah, I think, although today I did have some chips when I came home, I think it's more of just a habit that I recognize and more mindful of. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a behavior pattern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very common pattern, especially just among busy people, and you have a long day. It's comforting to sometimes have a nice salty or sweet snack when you come home.
Yes, that's true.
So we talked about one thing in particular that you wanted to work on going forward was the ice cream at nighttime. How do you feel you've been moving towards our goals with that, and either cutting it back a little bit, portion sizes?
Yeah, I think looking for ice cream that is not as high in calories as, say, Ben & Jerry's, or I know you also gave advice about maybe going out to get the ice cream so it's already in a portion, and the effort that it takes to go out of the house and get the ice cream might make me reconsider going and getting it if it's not as easily accessible in the house.
Yeah, and it feels more rewarding to get it too when you have gone out with maybe a family member or one of your sons or your husband, and being able to sit down and make it into a social thing.
That's true.
That makes it a lot of the times more enjoyable overall.
Right.
So I don't think I've asked you this yet. Is there anything in particular that you feel has been the most difficult when moving forward with our goals?
I think just it's hard to just break habits. I tend to I'm a grazer. I tend to snack a lot, so I think just planning and being more mindful of the foods that I eat is definitely challenging, but it's worthwhile. Yeah.
And I couldn't agree with you more. So I look forward to moving forward with some of these goals with you, and working in future sessions to help you achieve them.
Great. Well, thank you. Thanks for your support.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.